Hi everybody, and welcome to 2025. Recently, in fact last week, I sent out an email to my entire database with my predictions for the year in regards to the real estate market here in Sotogrande. And I thought what I'll do is do it again, but in video format, so that those who haven't read it maybe can just listen to what I have to say. So, what do I believe is my prediction for 2025? And let's go through it right now. So the first one is the macroeconomics of the world. In theory, everything seems to be going okay. Interest rates seem to be coming down. Inflation seems to be under control in most places. Cryptocurrency is up. The stock market seems to be up. And there's no reason why this shouldn't carry on despite all the troubles and tribulations we're seeing around the world in respect to many other things that can affect the economies of the world. So macroeconomics seems to be positive, and I think that should carry on. On a geopolitical point, the global issues that we have with the elections in America that were big issues at the end of last year, the Middle Eastern situation with Israel and Gaza and Lebanon and Syria now, and of course the Ukraine war, which is continuing, do affect obviously the real estate market. However, Sotogrande I think is slightly neutral to it all, because in a way anyone wanting to get away from these conflict areas will be looking at a place such as Sotogrande. So I think we do have a maybe even a positive effect with people coming to the Costa Side looking for sun, looking for a good investment, and looking for, in a way, safe haven. Next point is buyer sensitivity to price. Those coming to Sotogrande are looking for good value and properties that are priced correctly and can be justified in terms of why they're being sold at those prices are the ones that will sell. Anybody that has a property on the market through an agency that is overpriced, you will find that they will sit on people's websites for a long period of time. So adjust your pricing to make sure that it is in line with where the market is looking at and that comparisons are correct. Otherwise, you'll be sitting there for a long while. Inventory is another area of concern. We've seen a huge demand for Sotogrande properties, particularly from agents coming from Marbella this way. Not only everybody getting listings and therefore sales via direct contacts with clients and buyers, but also through collaboration with other agencies. And those collaborations have led to a great demand here in Sotogrande. Inventory is short, and we feel that anyone wanting to sell should consider it now, because it is very much going to continue to be a seller's market. Interestingly, the high end of the market, the 5 to 15 million and plus in some instances, is an area that I think is going to, a segment that I think is going to continue to grow. We're seeing those in Marbella and numbers you see of sales, and that price bracket is huge. And that inventory in Marbella seems to be under pressure because there isn't enough of it, and a lot of them are looking to Sotogrande as an option for that. I think the traction that the big properties here are getting, and you only have to go to La Reserva and Sotogrande to see the amount of cranes that are up there and the construction that's going on, both from the master developer Sotogrande SA, from developers, private developers themselves, and individuals building their own home, is quite considerable. And that trend, I think, is going to continue strongly in 2025. People are looking for gated communities because they're looking for security and safety for themselves and their families. There is a perceived, if you like, lack of security in Marbella, which Sotogrande is getting the benefit of people coming this way. Another prediction I have, which is relevant to Sotogrande, is that the lower side, the Costa Side, the most popular side, if you like, and historically the one that's been here longest, will continue to evolve and the prices will continue to go up. However, this will be either via old houses being knocked down and new ones built in those very good plots, or properties that can be refurbished so that they become fit for purpose in today's day and age. By today's day and age, I mean that they are used almost annually. So previously where property was used virtually only for holidays and therefore or mostly in the summer wouldn't have heating. And obviously you need to have modern technologies that people are used to nowadays. And so your iPhone would be used to put on the heating, to turn off the lights, but put on the lights, that sort of thing. So I predict that down in the Costa Side, refurbishment and knocking down and rebuilding will be a continued trend. I predict also that the Middle Eastern interests in this part of the world will continue with acquisitions of other pieces of land. We've already seen Mondon, the holding company from Abu Dhabi, who have already bought La Zagaleta, and in doing so bought the piece of land that Zagaleta have here very close to Sotogrande. If that development continues, I think it can only be a good thing, because that investment will support the region, support the area, and help with all its growth. A further point is construction costs. Construction is rife, as I've explained. We're seeing lots of cranes and that sort of thing going on. And the price of construction has gone up. Not only have materials gone up, but they seem to have been stabilized after the big shock because of the wars and things that were going on. But the biggest concern I have is the amount of cost of labor. The labor costs and the number of builders that we have here are not infinite, and therefore there are big strains on their resources. If you want them, you will have to pay a little bit more. So that could affect maybe the construction costs of everything that's going on here in Sotogrande and elsewhere on the Costa Side. From a perspective of architecture, I think we will continue to see a lot of the, if you like, white box type of architecture, but also a trend maybe even backwards towards the Andalusian architecture or more traditional architecture we have here in this area. Of course, modern houses will have all the modern cons that you have inside. Sustainability, you want to be self-sufficient on electricity, maybe even in water, which is getting critical here in Andalusia, as we saw this last summer. So there may be a shift, and I see that already, a shift towards more traditional architecture, but still with all the modern things that you can put into a house these days, which are almost infinite when you start thinking about it. Another point in terms of prediction is the regulation that we estate agents will probably have this year. Certainly towards the end of last year, it was talked about in terms of a regulatory body in Andalusia, making sure that real estate agents are registered in some sort of format, and that they are policed, I suppose is the right word, to ensure that we are delivering for both our clients, being vendors or the buyers, and that we're doing so in a correct manner, and that it's being done officially. So I predict that we will have more regulation, well, some regulation in fact, for estate agents in the area, and that can only be a good thing. And lastly, Sotogrande generally. Sotogrande has continued to grow, and I think we'll see that development. What I call the four big pillars of Sotogrande are there. They're strong and very well embedded. Polo, golf, the Marina and all the sailing, and of course the international school. Those pillars are there, and they will continue to be very, very strong with all they have to offer and continue to offer back into 2025 and beyond. So in conclusion, I believe Sotogrande is poised for a very good 2025. Let's hope it materializes that way. I am Charlie Gubbins, and if you need anything in regard to real estate here in Sotogrande, do give me a call. You can DM me, call me, email me, and I'll be very happy to help you out.